Hello, Malcolm Laird speaking. In 1998, I had the opportunity to interview Jeff West. Jeff had been Douglas Bader's wingman on the 9th of August 1941, the day that Bader was lost and taken prisoner. In the photograph on this page, Jeff is the guy lying on the cowling of one of Bader's Spitfires. So I hope you enjoy the following excerpt from the Jeff West interview.
We're going to talk now about Douglas Bader being shot down and that period.
Well, he wasn't shot down, we lost him. But I was number 2 to him that day, and about 4 days earlier we'd had this group photo taken. I think around about early August.
Okay, just interrupt for a minute. Is that will be your first official claim?
Yeah.
I'll just make a note here myself. On one ME-109 claimed damaged over Lille, plenty about. Total flight 131.35. Was offensive patrol, target support, flying W3424, and it's a Spitfire 5B on August the 7th. 1.5 ME-109s. 2 days later, 9th, flying 5B W3517, channel sweep with A flight, and claimed 1.5 ME-109Fs destroyed, and
Castle missing.
Oh, well, I'll just keep quiet for a moment and let you talk.
No, that's the Calais-Boulogne area.
Calais-Boulogne
area. They were shot, they were missing the same day. Anyway, we'd had our group photo taken, and Douglas was there. About 2 days before that, I'd been with him, and he shot at I never even claimed it by the time. There was another one that I'd had a crack at. Douglas had shot at one. I just gave it a squirt of good luck.
Was this a few days before?
Yeah, a few days
went
before.
Missing?
Yeah. And when we came back, he found that I'd fired my gun. He said, "You shoot at it?" And I said, "Yes." I just gave it a hurry up. And he said, "It could have been you that shot him down, not me." And I said, "Oh, no, it wasn't me." Anyway, he insisted on me having half. He was about 20 at that stage, and Tuck was about 19 and a half or 21. And Taylor and William was the same score. They were all neck and neck, these three guys. I think Doug must have ruminated about it. We had our photos taken, and that's the only time Douglas ever spoke to us as a group. He obviously spoke a hell of a lot in the mess with the officers, but the sergeants never. We weren't involved in any pre-discussions at all. We were just regarded as necessary evils, I think. Anyway, he spoke to us all this time. He said, "Oh, by the way," he said, "I've just heard the number 2s are wet nursing the number 1s. He said, "We don't need wet nursing. It's my job is to take you to where the enemy is, and your job is to shoot them down. Not worry about." He said, "Mind you, after you've had an engagement, don't muck around." He said, "Immediately join up with the nearest Spitfire you see. Preferably, if you can rejoin your leader, so much the better, but don't fly around France anywhere on your own." And of course, when you're flying about 360 miles now, it doesn't take long to be out of sight of everything. And he stressed this. And then, of course, when we were over there, this day we lost him. We ran into a pretty mucky sort of day. There were about 17 aeroplanes coming up from below us. Douglas reported, says, "Righto, chaps, we're going down." Well, 4 of us went down, and the rest of the squadron stayed up. And they were I thought he was tired at this stage and he was anxious. I wouldn't have attacked from that height, because we were about 5,000 feet above them, and we were screaming down. Anyway, we went down, just the 4 of us, Cocky Dundas and Johnny Johnson on the right, and there was Douglas. You see, we flew like a finger's paw. That was Douglas, and that was me, and that was Johnny. And we flew like that.
So as you went down, Douglas would be number 1 in the lead.
Yeah, no,
on his right.
No, I was on his left.
Okay. Sorry, you're on Douglas's left as
Yep.
his wingman.
Yep.
And then the other pair is Johnson.
Yeah,
Johnny
Johnson.
Dundas.
That was Dundas, and that was Johnny there.
Johnny Johnson was number 2.
He was number 4.
Number
3 and 4.
Okay.
But he positioned himself on here, and he positioned himself on here, and I positioned myself on there. But the theory was that these 2 were looking this way, and these 2 were looking that one. So your tails were covered, because you can't look behind you on an aeroplane with all the stuff behind you. And you'll find most of us always wore silk scarves to stop our necks rubbing off on the shirt collars. You know, you were like this all the time.
That's a good point, wearing a silk scarf so you'd be continually turning your head and avoid chafing.
That's right.
Yeah, just a necessity.
Yeah. People used to tell me, all the fly paddle boys with the scarves, but it was an essential part of what you needed. Anyway, dive down. I had one just coming up and just ready to press the titty, and I thought Douglas I'd picked the same one as you did. Well, in view of what he'd said, I couldn't do anything else. I'd look for another one. And the one on his left went up into a screaming turn. I thought, I'll go after him because I had all the speed in the world. So I pulled up across Douglas after this one. I went up, and I think that he'd followed that one down, and all the rest of them turned on their backs and dived away. And we had 8 aeroplanes still up here. So when I went up, I nearly rammed this thing, and I nearly put my port wing through his cockpit. I could see him slumped in the cockpit.
This German pilot?
Yes, German pilot. I could see him slumped in the cockpit. He was doing nothing. Been shot. I think he'd been shot. By me.
By you?
By me. Oh yes, I got him when they shot at him. And bits of his aeroplanes were starting to fall off. I thought to myself, oh my God, I've killed something. That's my immediate thought. And you know, I was brought up in the church, and as a Christian, I thought, but I've done it.
That's the thought that slipped into your mind?
Yeah, it first went into my mind.
Was that? Do you think that would be because you could see him so close?
Yeah, I think it was. Because you're just shooting at things, inanimate object, but when you actually see a bloke slumped in the cockpit, you think, oh my God, and the aeroplane falling to bits, I went up, and I forgot what I was doing. I just was looking at him, and I wasn't flying the aeroplane number. He span, and I span on top of him. So when I came out of the span, there was nothing in sight. Nothing. Couldn't see anything. So I thought, well, my compass was going like a yo-yo. I didn't know where I was, but I knew the sun was up there. So I thought, well, England's over that way, so I gradually settled down and lost type. Put with plenty of speed on, looking for somebody. I couldn't see anybody. And then the compass settled down, and I could see that I was on the right, leaving for mother and home. And then I saw at the corner 2 aeroplanes way down below, just above the cloud. So I thought, I'll go. They might be one of mine. But one was a 109 and one was another Spit. The Spit was chasing the 109. Head after them because I had the altitude. It was just catching up when they both climbed, and the starboard aileron came off all three 109, and the Spitfire flew away. So I sort of closed on this 109 and gave him the rest of my ammunition, and then chased after him at number 2. I couldn't catch him because he dived into cloud. I got over the coast on my way by myself, and I suddenly thought, oh my God, I've lost the CO. I wonder if he said you got shot down. He said in a drink. So I flew down up to Grenada and came back down looking for anybody in the water, and didn't see anything. I went home and landed. By the time I got back and landed, all the others were down. And when they saw me, they said, "Where's the wing commander?" And I said, "Oh my God, I've lost him." And that's how we lost him.
That Spitfire that you saw chasing and shooting this 109 that you in turn gave a squirt to.
Anyway,
that Spitfire that you mentioned, do you believe that was Douglas Bader, or was that just some unknown aircraft?
Oh no, I know it was, because they asked me, and the whole squadron was there when I was giving my account, because they were all anxious. Then when I said that I shot this bugger down, I'm sure I got him because I saw him pilot slumped in the cockpit, and I saw pieces falling off it, and then it span. Then I said, I forgot I was flying, I span on top, and they all laughed because I'd come up in front and they all saw it. And the CO said, "Oh, no doubt I bet you got that one, Westy."
Later on, when you're heading for home,
said that I'd seen this other Spitfire chasing 109. I saw the starboard aileron fall off. But Johnny said, "That's confirmation." He'd already given his account how he'd shot at this one, and when the starboard aileron, he saw it spinning and he went away. He thought that was it. And so it was Johnny.
With Johnny Johnson.
Johnny Johnson, the leading British race.
But so no one ever saw Douglas after that?
No.
But perhaps he just continued on down. What about the other two? Johnson and Dundas? Did they...
No, Johnny must have lost Cocky. The other two was Johnny and Cocky. Well, Johnny, I don't know what happened to Cocky. Cocky got home, or he never shot at anything apparently.
That was Dundas's nickname, was it?
Yeah,
Cocky
Dundas,
yeah. So the four of you all ended up just splitting up in the fight?
Oh, yeah, in the matter of seconds. As I said, we were travelling. We jumped, I reckon we must have gone down about 4,000 or 5,000 feet with the engines on.
So you could have been in what?
We'd have been
450,
yeah. Well, I had one at 500. In fact, when I was testing, we had to do an upfloat testing. You had to do 400 to check whether the ailerons had any upfloat or not.
Upfloat?
Well, it meant droop in the ailerons on the wing when you put them under stress.
So, well, I suppose as we wandered off down through the ages, what happened to Douglas Bader, but in fact, no one knows.
No one knows. No.
So what they showed in their movie and what have you was just a...
I was talking to Jeffy, I know it. Actually, I was as close to him as anybody was.
He may not have been shot down at all, in fact.
No, I don't think he was shot down. I think somebody cut his tail or crashed him. When he went down, they all turn on their back. When you turn on your back, they don't know what the hell's underneath you. And I reckon that he was going fast.
The events of 1941 were not Jeff West's main wartime activity. In March 1942, he and 12 other experienced Spitfire pilots were flown into Malta in the belly of a Sunderland flying boat. They were to familiarise themselves with the island by flying Hurricanes. Then Spitfires were flown into Malta from the Royal Navy aircraft carrier HMS Eagle. The idea being that the new arriving pilots would hand it immediately over to the experienced pilots such as West, and they would take them into combat the first time. As West says about Malta, Malta was no picnic. It wasn't fun in any shape or form. The next significant part of his career was as a squadron leader. He was involved in developing lightened, high-altitude modified Spitfires, and the illustration on this page showing a blue Spitfire Mark 9 is one of the aircraft that West worked on. But Malta and North Africa, they are stories for another day. So I hope you enjoyed this excerpt from the Jeff West interview.